An unexpected emotional event created a huge wave in the midst of the international fan community. Jungkook's tears on his birthday, in front of Kim Taehyung, were not just ordinary tears. Critical questions immediately arose. Why would an idol known for firmness, professionalism, and strength on stage suddenly be unable to stop crying? And beyond that, why did those tears break precisely when he was in Taehyung's tight embrace? Is there a hidden meaning far beyond mere birthday emotions? The moment instantly became a topic of discussion across various social media platforms. Armies from around the world admitted they could not hold back tears while watching the circulating video clips. Jungkook was seen bowing his head, hugging Taehyung tightly, and crying with a voice he could not suppress. The public questioned, was this just an expression of happiness, or was there something much deeper left unspoken? The fact that this moment happened suddenly, without prior announcement, only added tension and curiosity. Speculation spread. Some believed the tears were purely an outpouring of emotion because Taehyung appeared on his special day, considering how impossible it was for their schedules to align. However, others were convinced there was a hidden message spoken by Taehyung, understood only by Jungkook, which made his tears flow endlessly. The question sharpened. Was that statement related to their personal relationship, their long journey in the music industry, or even an undisclosed condition never made public? Clearly, this event does not stand alone. Its context is broader and full of question marks. Taehyung, known for his packed schedule and rarely making time outside official activities, suddenly appeared specifically to see Jungkook. The fact that he cleared his schedule long in advance, even after a sudden agenda in Los Angeles when performing at Dodger Stadium, raised a big question. What was the deep motivation behind his presence? Why did he feel the need to be by Jungkook's side at that moment? In the eyes of armies, Taehyung's presence on Jungkook's birthday was an invaluable surprise. But more than just being there, Taehyung's gesture of hugging Jungkook tightly and whispering something unheard by the public triggered an emotional wave that has yet to subside. Isn't it unusual for an idol so well-trained to restrain personal expressions in front of cameras to instead fail to hold back tears in that moment? Doesn't this show something bigger than just a birthday? Many fans began linking the event with the dynamics of their relationship, long full of speculation. Taehyung, rarely seen with Jungkook in public in recent years, suddenly appeared with very intense closeness. Jungkook, always strong and confident, seemed to crumble when in that embrace. Questions kept arising. Was this a form of reconciliation after a long distance? Or was it a personal promise that Taehyung finally fulfilled that day? Furthermore, Jungkook's tears were seen as a reflection of the emotional burden he had carried. The public realized that an idol's journey is not only filled with spotlight, but also pressure, longing, and loneliness often unseen. If Taehyung truly said something that touched Jungkook's core, it may have concerned far deeper issues than a birthday. Was it about their friendship? About an uncertain future? Or about something long avoided from being spoken publicly? Another surprising fact emerged from unnamed sources. They stated Jungkook had long awaited this moment, knowing Taehyung tried to make time amidst extreme busyness. Taehyung's presence was no simple matter, but a decision prepared with full awareness. Critical questions arose. Why would Taehyung willingly clear his schedule long in advance for just a brief meeting? Doesn't that show there was a special meaning only they understood? Armies worldwide responded with various reactions, but the common thread was the same. Their tears flowed seeing how genuine the meeting was. Many said Jungkook's tears were not just symbols of weakness, but proof he found true comfort by Taehyung's side. Does this mean there is a deeper emotional bond deliberately hidden all this time? Looking deeper, the moment seemed like a turning point that cannot be ignored. Every detail, from how Jungkook lowered his head, his grip on Taehyung's body, to the unheard whisper, all fueled endless curiosity among armies. It is not an exaggeration to say this event left a mystery greater than answers. Now, the public can only wonder, what exactly made Jungkook unable to stop crying? Was it truly just Taehyung's presence? Or was there a personal statement spoken seriously that broke his emotional defenses? The fact that no clear clarification has been given only heightens the tension. Armies seem invited to keep guessing, analyzing, and seeking fragments of truth from every circulating video and photo. This moment, without a doubt, will be recorded as one of the most emotional events in their journey. Jungkook's tears and Taehyung's embrace were not just about a birthday, but about something far deeper. Something that made ARMY shed tears, not because they fully understood what happened, but because they felt there was an emotional truth not fully revealed. And perhaps it is precisely this uncertainty that makes the moment so precious yet painful. Time seemed to stop flowing when the moment happened. Taehyung's gaze at Jungkook, full of sincerity and emotional weight difficult to explain, became the focus of all who witnessed it. No words were clearly heard by the public, but the atmosphere around them was enough to silence thousands of questions. Taehyung, with a voice almost breaking, whispered something into Jungkook's ear. And instantly, the already unstoppable sobs became even heavier. The question then, what could make Jungkook lose control of his emotions before millions of fans, if not something so deep and personal? The aura radiating from that message did not convey sadness alone, but a complex mix of emotion, happiness, and relief. ARMYs, only able to guess from their expressions, felt there was a bond being restored. Jungkook, usually so controlled, appeared fragile, while Taehyung tried to stay strong, though his eyes glistened. Taehyung's small gesture of rubbing Jungkook's back seemed to affirm the message was not mere words, but a promise, a confession, or even a reinforcement long awaited. What made the atmosphere even more heart-shaking was Taehyung's face, clearly showing he too was struggling to hold back tears. His lips trembled, his eyes reddened, but he fought hard to remain strong in front of Jungkook. The brief silence surrounding them underscored the importance of what he said. ARMYs did not hear the words, but precisely because they did not, curiosity and emotion grew deeper. The aura of happiness mixed with emotion could not be faked, and everyone felt it, even just through screens. Close sources described the meeting as not unplanned. Taehyung had arranged his time far in advance, even clearing his personal agenda. Yet when he finally stood before Jungkook, it was clear the meeting was more emotionally weighty than imagined. It was as if words long kept inside awaited the right moment to be spoken. And when finally spoken, Jungkook could no longer hold back tears. The question sharpened. Did the message concern their past? Or an affirmation about the future they want to share? ARMYs worldwide wrote emotional reactions. Many said the aura of happiness from that embrace could not be expressed in simple words. Jungkook's tears were seen as happiness too great to contain. And Taehyung, though trying to hold back tears, could not hide his emotions. Small details such as a firm grip on the shoulder or meaningful gazes exchanged added to the emotional weight of the event. Looking deeper, the moment revealed another side of their relationship rarely exposed. Behind the stage spotlight, there was an emotional bond beyond words. Taehyung's message, though unheard, was felt by all watching. Positive energy flowed, making ARMYs weep. It was as if fans shared the same happiness as Jungkook, though not knowing what the message was. What made it more heartbreaking was that Taehyung himself could not fully hide his emotions. When whispering, tears nearly fell from his eyes. He briefly lowered his head, holding back sobs, then strengthened himself again to stay firm beside Jungkook. That image left a lasting mark. Two friends, two partners, two connected souls, standing in the midst of birthday joy, yet showing their most human side, fragile, full of feeling, and honest. The public did not stay silent. Various analyses appeared on social media. Some interpreted Taehyung's message as appreciation, others as apology, or perhaps a promise. Yet regardless of speculation, all agreed on one thing. The aura of that moment was full of warmth and joy. ARMYs shed tears not out of sadness, but because they felt pure love, requiring no words to be understood. The fact that the message remains a mystery only adds to its appeal. Everyone watching felt they were witnessing something deeply personal, something not fully shareable with the public. And perhaps that is what makes the moment priceless. There is a line between what fans can know and what remains their private secret. Yet the aura of joy surrounding it was enough to make everyone immersed in emotion. From a psychological perspective, This event shows certain words, when spoken by someone with strong emotional ties, can break any defense. Jungkook, used to showing strength before millions, suddenly collapsed upon hearing it. And Taehyung, trying to stay firm, nearly cried while saying it. No music, no stage lights, just a whisper shaking the world. Now, the event has become one of the most discussed moments among ARMYs. Not only because of the clear intimacy, but also because the message remains tightly guarded. The aura of joy and emotion radiating from it has bound millions emotionally. Many said they felt part of the moment, even as distant witnesses. And here lies the paradox. Though the message is unknown, its impact is stronger than if it were announced. In the end, Jungkook's tears and Taehyung's embrace were not merely a fleeting emotional event. It was an image of bond, joy, and a message full of meaning. Taehyung, with tears almost falling, said something only Jungkook could understand. And Jungkook, with unstoppable sobs, showed the message, shook his heart to its core. ARMYs wept not because they understood the words, but because they felt the pure aura of happiness from a moment forever remembered. The event previously described, Jungkook's tears and Taehyung's embrace, left a space of reflection not simple. Yet a more pressing question must be openly raised. Did that moment truly represent an authentic, natural event? Or was it staged, manipulated, even designed to create massive emotional impact for the public? Are we as viewers and fans truly witnessing reality, or merely consuming a narrative deliberately constructed to attract attention? Let us ask sharper questions. Why did that moment spread so quickly on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter? Was the massive spread purely fan enthusiasm, or was there a systematic effort to ensure the clip reached a global audience quickly? If so, who benefited from the virality? Jungkook and Taehyung as individuals, the fan community feeling closer, or media gaining traffic and profit from the discourse? At this point, we face a serious dilemma. Should we believe those tears were born from an emotional message, or question whether they were exploited for certain aims? Hasn't the entertainment industry long had a history of producing dramatic narratives to keep artists relevant and expand markets? If so, what guarantees this time is not part of the same pattern? The questions grow troubling when realizing most circulating information did not come from mainstream media with strict verification, but from short social clips. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and similar platforms have become main distribution sources of this narrative. Yet do we realize social media often shows not full truth, but versions cut, polished, even twisted as needed? What if what we saw was only one small side of a more complex event? We must dare to ask provocative questions. Is it possible Taehyung's words were not as special as imagined, but a grand narrative was built to make them appear filled with hidden meaning? Isn't it possible ARMYs, with overwhelming enthusiasm, magnified simple emotions into a global phenomenon? If so, are we trapped in a mass perception game we unknowingly let grow? In this context, Jungkook's tears must not only be seen as emotional expression, but as a symbol prone to manipulation. Isn't every celebrity tear readable in two ways? First, as honest, pure expression. Second, as an effective emotional communication tool to build closeness with fans? Between those two, where does this event lie? Furthermore, let us reflect. Why is there no clear clarification of Taehyung's words? Why is the most important part hidden? Is it because they are private, or because leaving it a mystery ensures endless discussion? Doesn't keeping the secret make speculation grow wilder and emotional effect multiply? If so, is this a deliberate strategy? We must also question the ARMY's role. Were their tears a sincere reflection of what they witnessed, or triggered by a narrative continuously reinforced through social media? Isn't it possible ARMYs only responded to what was directed, that is sadness, emotion, and joy, without ever truly knowing what happened behind the scenes? If so, are they witnessing an authentic event, or watching a grand drama intentionally produced? We must be honest. This news, this article, even all media discourse, may not represent the actual facts. Isn't it possible all of this is merely a hoax, or at least a narrative deliberately exaggerated for sensationalism? And if true, who is responsible? Social media cutting and spreading clips? The fandom building emotional narrative? Or other parties with greater behind-the-scenes interests? Critical reflection is essential. Are we witnessing truth, or a product so well-crafted it is indistinguishable from reality? Are we immersed in genuine emotions, or emotions created to strengthen fan loyalty? Do we truly know, or just feel we know because of a narrative forced upon us? Every paragraph about this moment must be read skeptically. If we accept it as purely organic, don't we risk opening room to be manipulated by the same narrative in the future? But if we completely reject and call it staged, don't we risk ignoring possible genuine emotion behind it? So, where should we stand? On full belief, total denial, or a critical stance questioning both? It is important to remember. The information we share comes from various sources: TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and some media. But there is no guarantee all are true. Doesn't every source have its own interests? Doesn't every platform's algorithm show what is engaging, not what is true? If so, how likely is it we are only seeing reflections of truth, not truth itself? Thus, let me pose the final question every reader must ponder. Are we ready to accept if one day it is revealed that Jungkook's tears and Taehyung's embrace were not entirely authentic? Can we face the possibility all this was merely a strategy to maintain emotional connection between artist and fans? And if so, will we feel betrayed, or still accept it because the emotions we felt were already real? This reflection is not to ruin the joy ARMYs felt, but to remind that all information must be viewed critically. Do not let emotions alone control judgment. Do not get trapped in a narrative perhaps created for sensational aims. Because in the end, only with skepticism and reflection can we truly understand. Were Jungkook's tears and Taehyung's embrace a reflection of truth, or merely a projection from the entertainment industry?